So things are starting to warm up outside, okay? The weather's getting nicer. People are getting a little antsy to start kind of moving around and doing things, going on vacation. So yes, we are approaching the summertime conditions in a sense, okay? Depending on what side of the globe you actually live on, okay? Here in the eastern part of the United States, we are, in the 80s, and out west, I mean, the weather is getting nicer, I'm sure, across the country, and will do so as we approach more into the summer months. All right, everyone should start getting a bump up in temperatures. Okay, so as traders, we have to really start to think about, do things actually get better or tend to get a little bit slower? I don't want to say worse, but tend to get a little slower during the summertime months. Okay, well, think about it like this. All right. During the school year, say for instance, okay, or the normal business year, most people are working, okay? Children are in school, people are working. So as traders, if you don't work a 9-to-5 job and trading is your full-time business, then guess what? Then during the year, this is when we primarily focus on trying to make our money, right? And then during the summertime months, mostly everyone does what? Takes a trip or two, a vacation or two. So what do you think when people pull out of the markets, what happens? The market kind of the volume gets lower, okay? But we as retail traders don't really push and pull the market. We have to understand that, okay? We basically just want to ride the coattail, scrape up some of the crumbs from the big players, all right? Talking about the banks, the institutions, the big hedge funds, companies, things of that nature. So we basically just want to be able to move in the same direction that they're moving, okay? We have to understand that. So you have to expect, okay, during the summertime, all right, what's going to happen? Well, you're going to have the big players, the fund managers, the central bankers. They're going to be doing what? Taking time off, all right? So if they're not sitting in front of machines and placing big orders or trades in the markets, whatever the case is, then the volume starts to do what? It starts to shrink up, okay? There's not as much volume in the market. So we have to be able to be very careful as retail traders how we trade. That means that not every day is going to be a good day, okay? Things slow down. So there may not be, well, I'm not going to say that there may not be, there will not be as many golding opportunities in a solid day. There may be more spares, meaning that you may not see any one day, and then the next day you may see a few trades, whatever the case is, or setups kick off. So you have to pay attention very, very strictly when it comes to the summertime months and conditions, all right? When it comes to the volume, all right? Things are either going to do two things, all right? The market is either going to trend in one direction, and you'll see it doing, what you'll see is it will be moving higher with small little pullbacks, or you're going to see it flip, or maybe move the opposite direction and start trending to the downside. Either way, you're going to see very small pullbacks. So as a supply and demand style trader, it will make it a little bit difficult for us to trade because we're looking for areas where there are increased amounts of volume coming out of either a demand or supply zone, okay? And when we're looking for solid setups, sometimes when there's not a lot of volume, you're not going to see those big, heavy momentum pushes in the market either up or down in one direction. Especially when price pulls back to say a zone we may be interested in, it may not look like a pretty a large volume area, where a lot of a push came out of that demand zone or from that supply zone. So we have to be very mindful of our zones, I would say, as supply and demand style traders when it comes to, the more we get into the summer times, okay? Because I said volume will slow down. So again, what you're going to see is the market either moving in one direction, trending hard to the upside or downside, or it's primarily going to be doing what? Moving sideways in tight, small ranges. That makes it difficult to trade. We all know. Doesn't matter if you're an experienced trader or a beginner trader. Ranges are hard to trade. Does not matter. It doesn't matter what strategy you use, all right? And maybe you have a golden strategy that works best for you when you see ranges, whatever the case is, and you primarily look for the market range and you execute your strategy, whatever case is. But for me, supply and demand, I have to see, new highs or new lows being taken out, meaning breaks of structures, and price pulling back to key areas where there's a decent amount of volume coming out of the area. And in the summertime, it makes it hard to do so. It's hard to identify those areas. Well, not saying it's hard to identify them, but it's harder to look for solid trades because you're not going to see a lot of that going on. So for me personally, summertime is a way for me to really kind of kick back a little bit. I would do trading. I would trade. It's just the thing is that the amount of trading that I actually do, it will be at a minimum. I will probably, just kind of pick and choose, looking at my charts, which days make sense to me based on, hey, do we have an increased amount of volume in the market, or is there just, low volume in the market? So I will be on a day-to-day basis determining that by, looking at the volume of here, particularly the ES futures, to see if it's worthwhile or not. I don't want to risk capital in the market if the market is really not doing much at all. It doesn't make any sense, right? I don't want to be sitting here clicking, trying to make a few $100 or $1,000 or $2,000 or whatever it may be during that day if there's nothing going to happen. It's like I protect my capital versus just playing the game of seeing if I can win something or not. That's not the way to trade. As traders, we have to wait for our setup to happen for us to be able to execute our strategy. So think markets like the E-mini S&P 500, okay? And where the volume may kind of shrink up a little bit, all right, or dry out. What should you do? You may ask. Well, you may want to focus on some other markets that are thinner, markets that have a lot more movement in them. May provide you opportunities to capture a few trades a day. So you may want to look at like the Dow, the Nasdaq, maybe even the Russell if you trade the indices. Here on the futures. Just depends, something that has it's a little bit more fluid, I would say, that kind of moves throughout the session a little more, all right? Just be careful because thinner markets means that price can jump from one area to another. So you really have to pay strict attention to. Now, supply and demand strategies of trading, you can trade it regardless of the market. Some markets you just have to be more mindful than others, especially when it comes to thinner markets, okay? Because when they get to an area, they're going to move pretty quick, all right? So I could recommend that to you if you're looking to make some money this summer. You may want to really maybe look at, where the volume here on the ES may dry up or may not be as much. You may want to look at something that's a little bit thinner, the Nasdaq or the Dow, something of that nature. Crude is a good market, but, just have to pick and choose your battles when it comes to these, different future markets because, once you become in tune to trading one particular market and you kind of learn the behavior of it, and that's the thing, people always think that the market's going to move, or that they like to trade one particular market because, I like the behavior of it, or whatever the case is. But the market's always evolving, so that behavior, that attitude, that personality that the market is throwing at you or has been giving you prior to that allows you to become successful, it changes, okay? And we as traders have to move with the changes of the market, okay? We have to evolve just as well. So again, I like to say, really pay close attention to on a daily basis. Just be more mindful, be more reserved in a sense to just getting into the market each and every day and just sitting and waiting. If you get in front of the charts and during the summertime, okay, when the volume really starts slowing down and you don't see anything going on and market's just kind of barely moving, just find something else to do. I know it may be tough, especially if you're doing this full time. For a living, it can be very tough. Maybe you have something else going on. Maybe you have another business that you're operating or had your hands in as far as being a partner with and helping operate. Maybe you just spend a little more time doing that, or maybe find something that is a hobby for you and spend a little more time doing that. There will be opportunities, as I said, but they just will be, far fewer in between versus during 9 months, mostly out of the year when we're looking to gear up around August, moving back into maybe March, April, May of the year. And then around May, going to June, things really start kind of slowing down, really when we get to June, okay? So just pay attention to your charts. Let your charts tell you, and look at a tool that would kind of gauge and let you know if the amount of volume in the market. And you could tell by looking at the movement on your charts how much price action, how much activity has taken place as well within that particular market. So pay close attention to volume. It's extremely important, okay? Now, here's a few things that you could probably do just to kind of kill some time. If you are waiting for a particular setup or waiting for the entry, or if you just decided to trade it that day, always continue to educate yourself. Find a good book, okay? I say trading book, something that will provide you some insight. Just keep your mind, keep the juices going, okay? Because that's the most important thing, is that we never want to be stagnant when it comes to furthering our career in this profession. So find some good trading books to read, okay? As well, I had some listed down in the description portion of the video, so there's a few down there you can take a look at, as well as maybe ask some of the community members or go online and research yourself. But reading is what? It's fundamental, and it helps us continue to learn. We never want to stop learning, okay? I know I don't, all right? I could also recommend that you spend some time just kind of going back, maybe back testing, your strategy, seeing that, how effective that it is. I guess, based on a percentage, win to loss type ratio, see how well your strategy is continuously working. I've said this in the past, markets evolve, so we as traders have to evolve and kind of tweak our strategy sometimes to make them become or work more effective in our favor. All right. So spend some time, The summertime is great as well because we can go back and really kind of reinvent ourselves in a sense, or better ourselves as traders when, things get a little slower. So we can go back and kind of get the time to go back and do our checks and balances. All right. See what's working, see what's not working. Okay. And like me, I like to keep a catalog, or I record videos of my trades and then I go back and review them. So maybe you want to go back and spend some time reviewing some of your past trades. That works as well. Just kind of capture, go back and say, if it was 6 months ago, or 4 months ago, or 5 months ago, you can look to see if the market is moving the same way as it was then, seeing how effective your strategy was, 4, 5, 6 months ago, and look at some of the trade setups that you actually took, and looking at today to see maybe you were profiting more, a few months back than you are today, because the market now may be changing. So you need to kind of think about what you can do to kind of change maybe a strategy a little bit to help you get back to where you were 4 or 5 months ago or 6 months ago in trading, But sometimes it's out of our hands because the market is going to do what it's going to do and not provide us opportunities that were maybe as great last year or 6 months ago. So just spend some time reviewing and going back, digging up some of those videos that you recorded, when you were trading, and look at some of the trades that you took and see the setups, how effective they were, did they work well, based on your strategy. So just do yourself that favor. So there's a number of things that you can actually do is what I'm trying to say, okay? But one of the biggest things that most people really need to spend a lot of time doing is working on trading psychology. That's the biggest thing. If you're someone that's fearful every time you get into the market, and maybe you don't have a lot of capital. So that's one of the things that people really struggle with. They try to get into this business of trading and they don't have much capital to be able to put into an account to be able to trade with. I said it. I talked about this in the past. If you're not ready and you don't have the money to really step into this business, then don't do so. Okay. I'm not trying to deter anyone or scare anyone away. It's just, when you're ready, have a certain amount of money that you saved up, meaning just for trading alone, not money that you need to pay your bills with, but have a certain amount of money that's going to allow you to be able to trade securely, safely, and not at the end of the day, you're not really worrying about things. For me, I had this rule of thumb to where you should have 10 times the margin, okay? Meaning that, for example, the ES is $400 a contract, right? Well, with my broker it is, and most brokers I'm pretty sure. So if it's $400 a contract, I want to have securely at least $4,000 in my account to trade one contract. 2 contracts, $8,000. You may think that's a lot of money, but trust me, you can blow through on the E-mini S&P 500 pretty quick. You can really you can get into a bad trade and you can have a lot of drawdown going on there. And then next thing you know, you've dwindled that $4,000 account down to $2,000. Can you still trade? Yes. You can say, oh, wow, $2,000, I can still trade, how many contracts? 5 contracts. Well, you don't want to do that, okay? So I have a 10-time rule of thumb rule that I truly believe that you should have 10 times the amount of the margin, all right? That's just me personally, okay? So that just makes me feel safe and secure that at the end of the day, if I take a bad losing trade, which I try to really, you shouldn't be taking much drawdown, really, I'll be honest with you. You should know which trades to take, in a sense, ones that are high probability, and practice proper risk management. Okay, all right. Okay, so yes, trading psychology is key. All right. So again, I was talking about fear. Maybe someone that's greedy. You've got to kick greed to the side. Greed is one of the biggest things that people that really boots people out, kicks them out of this business real quick, all right? Because they think they have the money and they can get into it and make some quick cash real quick. Yeah, maybe you get lucky once or twice, and then next thing you know, the market will burn you. I mean, it will really, you maybe get $20,000, $30,000, the next thing you know, or $50,000, the next thing you know, it's taking everything from you. And I've seen it. I've talked to people who actually lost, who have lost large amounts of money. I'm not talking like 1 or 2 or 3 people. Most traders end up losing, you know, big amounts of money, meaning that they actually blow their account several times on end before they kind of get it right. So control that greed. Do away with it. You know, you're going to have to find a way to work on yourself, your inner self up here. Okay. The mental part of trading is basically 90% mental. Understand that. Okay. You've got to be able to control every part of you and just get relaxed. You know, feel comfortable about the trades that you're going to take. You know, be able to read the charts correctly. All right. So you have to be able to, you know, work on yourself. You know, the fear of missing out, FOMO. People struggle with that as well. Don't try to catch every trade. All right. If you miss a trade, guess what? There's another one around the corner. Okay. So don't feel bad and kick yourself in the rear end because you missed out on a trade. All right. We all miss out on trades. Okay. We all don't see every setup or every position or every area in which we should be entering the market on. So just work on yourself. Spend some time. This is the time during the summertime as things get warm outside. Go outside. Take a walk. Do something, you know, that's physically active. So just get yourself into a state to where you relax, not stressed about anything, because when you get in front of these charts, you're going to need to be focused 100%. All right. And that's the thing, is you need to be able to read the charts correctly, following and understanding market structure. Okay. So that's all I really want to share with you guys. Just kind of wanted to provide some insight, maybe some tips, some hints, something that may be able to help you out as we transition into the summertime environment or conditions here within the markets. Maybe this will really help you. Just give you some ideas of what some things to do, you know, so that you can kind of push forward the next 3 months. And then, you know, back in August, things will start rocking and rolling again. But I'm not saying that the whole 3 months or whatever the case is during the summer that you won't be able to trade. Yeah, but just be more selective, be more reserved about the opportunities and the entries that you see or setups that you see unfold, okay? Hey, that's all I have for you guys in this video. People always ask how they can join the Discord. If you're interested in joining our free Discord, where we have, I think, almost 1,100 community members now, I believe. Not to say that 1,100 are online each and every day. Look, if you look down in the description portion of the video, you'll find the link to the Discord. So click on that, invite yourself in. It's free of charge, like I said. As well as people always asking how they can become an elite member. Simply by clicking on the membership tab on the homepage of the YouTube channel. There's a link there. There's a button that says membership. Click on it. For those that may be asking in this video, maybe new to this channel, well, what is the elite membership? Basically, the elite membership is, it just brings you one step forward or closer to grasping the way that I actually trade. And I provide tons of trade breakdowns. You know, I try to do them weekly. Sometimes I'll get real busy and I'm not able to do a trade breakdown video. But there are tons of videos on there already. They're breakdowns of my live trading to where as if you were like sitting in front of me or virtually. I basically walk you through and explain to you my trades based on the setups, based on, you know, the pure thought process and my reasoning for taking a trade at certain zones. So tons of individuals, all those who have signed up for the elite membership, find lots of value in the trade breakdowns, as well as you receive the video playlist. All that is just a there is a community post for the elite members, and what I did was I included a large, well, I should say, links to videos, okay, ones that I have hand selected that I feel that really encompass the way I trade. Okay, some of them are live trade sessions, some of them are covering content about certain concepts or elements to trading that are imperative to, you know, traders in general. Okay, so a lot of good core content within the videos there, so that way you don't have to go in and watch, you know, over 400 or 500 videos here on the channel. You know, I hand selected the ones that really will drive home and should resonate, especially to new traders. Okay, so if you're interested in doing so, you'll find that link again on the homepage of the YouTube channel. Click on it, membership. There's 2 tiers there. The elite membership gives you all the perks and rewards that you probably want to have. And it's $6.99 a month. Yes, not $6.99 a week or a day, a month. That's all it is. Okay, so you know, lots of people will probably spend $5 to $10 a day on a cup of coffee or on something that, you know, probably really has no value to it in a sense. I'm not saying a cup of coffee doesn't have a value to it, because you may need to have that each and every day to function. But these videos should, you know, be impactful for you, and really shed some light on the way I actually trade. All right, so should help you out. Hopefully, you have to understand that everybody is different in the way they actually learn. So spend some time watching and rewatching, and hopefully you'll take away some good tidbits that will, you know, help improve your own trading. There are, you know, tons of individuals within the community that are bettering or improving their trading. They send me DMs or messages here on YouTube, or, you know, and thanking me for providing the content basically free of charge, you know, in a sense, even though it's, you know, that small fee of $6.99, that's just your way of supporting me as a content creator and basically saying, hey, Mike, thank you for all your efforts. Okay, but I'm gonna leave this video where it's at, and hopefully you guys found some value in it and are able to walk away and maybe it'll help you out, especially as we gear towards the summer months. And that's all I have for you guys. I appreciate everyone who continuously watches the videos. Please drop a like on the video right now. If you haven't done so, please take the time. Give you 5 seconds right now to go ahead and click on that like button. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, hopefully you went ahead and clicked on that like button. Now, if you're new to the channel, please take the time as well to click on the red subscribe button. Do yourself that favor so that you never miss one of the uploads here on the channel. Lots of valuable content, okay? As well as make sure to click on the bell next to the subscribe button, and make sure to turn all your post notifications on as well. Yes, your post notifications, okay? That's all I have for you guys in today's video. I appreciate each and every one of you on the daily, okay? I'll see you in the next one. I'm getting ready to get over into some live trading into our Discord community as well. So take care. I'll see you in the next video.